When you hear the words, Saturn return, what comes to mind? For many, it's a time of fear, anxiety, and confusion. Those intense years around age 28 to 30, when life seems to shake at its very foundation. Friends part ways, careers stall or collapse, relationships fracture, and suddenly everything you thought was stable feels fragile, even meaningless. It's as if the universe has hit a cosmic reset button, and you're left scrambling for answers. But what if all this upheaval is not a curse, but a sacred initiation? What if the breakdown you're experiencing is actually a deep spiritual rite of passage, an invitation to shed false layers of identity and step into a higher version of yourself? This is the real meaning of your Saturn return. Saturn, often called the taskmaster or great teacher in astrology, is misunderstood as a harsh punisher. Yet in truth, Saturn is the guardian of time, the architect of soul maturity, and the gatekeeper to deeper wisdom. When Saturn returns to the exact position it occupied at your birth, it activates an intense period of reckoning, a chance to review your life, confront uncomfortable truths, and build a foundation that can support your soul's true purpose. This process is not easy. It demands courage and honesty, but it is essential for authentic growth. In this video, we will go beyond the popular horoscopes and superficial warnings to explore the soul-level significance of your Saturn return. We'll dive into mythological archetypes, karmic contracts, and the profound psychological transformation that unfolds. Whether you are currently navigating your first Saturn return or looking ahead to the next, this journey holds keys to embracing your challenges as sacred initiations instead of random crises. If you've ever felt lost or broken during this period, you're not alone, and you are exactly where you need to be. Let's unlock the true power of Saturn together and transform what seems like a breakdown into your soul's greatest breakthrough. At its core, a Saturn return is an astronomical event that marks the moment Saturn completes its full orbit around the Sun and returns to the exact position it occupied in your natal chart at the time of your birth. This orbit takes approximately 29.5 years, which is why most people experience their first Saturn return between the ages of 28 and 30. Then it happens again roughly at 57 to 60, and once more near 88 to 90 years old, marking major milestones in your soul's journey. But the Saturn return is much more than a planetary transit. It is a cosmic checkpoint, a rite of passage designed by the universe to force you to confront your life structure and ask difficult questions. Who am I really? What legacy am I building? What parts of myself have I been hiding or denying? This event serves as a powerful initiator of maturity, compelling you to move from the youthful illusions of possibility into the hard-earned wisdom of responsibility. Astrologically, Saturn is known as the Lord of Karma, a title that hints at its deeper role as the keeper of soul contracts and life lessons. It imposes boundaries, restrictions, and challenges not to punish, but to teach discipline and self-mastery. When Saturn returns, it shines a light on where your foundation is weak, where you've built castles on sand, and where you must rebuild with integrity and authenticity. Your Saturn return does not just shake your external world, it shakes your internal world. It forces a reckoning between your ego's narratives and your soul's truth. It can manifest as crises in relationships, work health, or self-identity. Yet, if embraced consciously, it becomes a portal to soul initiation, where you burn away old skins and step into a deeper version of yourself. Understanding the timing and meaning of this event prepares you not just to survive, but to thrive in this transformational phase. In the next parts, we will explore Saturn's mythic symbolism, the shadow and gold of its archetype, and how your personal Saturn placement uniquely influences your journey through this cosmic initiation. To grasp the deeper meaning of your Saturn return, it helps to step back and look at the ancient myths and archetypes surrounding Saturn. In Roman mythology, Saturn is the god of time, harvest, and dissolution, but his story is far from simple. He is often identified with the Greek titan Cronus, the figure who devoured his own children to prevent them from overthrowing him. This dark image paints Saturn as a devourer, a force that consumes potential and demands sacrifice. But myth is never one-dimensional. Saturn embodies both the shadow and the gold of maturity. On the shadow side, he represents limitation, repression, fear, and the crushing weight of responsibility. He is the voice of you must the harsh disciplinarian who says no to illusions and delays gratification. When Saturn's energy is feared or resisted, it can feel like imprisonment or doom. Yet there is also a hidden wisdom in Saturn's nature. He is the wise old teacher who insists on discipline because he sees the long-term value of structure and order. Saturn's lessons, though difficult, create the conditions for lasting growth, resilience, and mastery. He is the architect who helps build the temple of the self stone by stone. In psychological terms, Saturn represents the development of the ego's boundaries, the emergence of the adult self, and the internalization of authority. His return signals a reckoning with these themes. Are you ready to claim your personal power? Can you face your fears and take responsibility for your life's direction? The archetype of Saturn is thus a paradox, a destroyer and creator, a confining force, and a liberator. This paradox is at the heart of your Saturn return experience. Understanding this duality invites you to move beyond seeing Saturn as an enemy and to recognize him as a necessary ally in your soul's evolution. In the next part, we will dive into what happens during your first Saturn return, the breakdown of the false self, and how this painful process can become a gateway to true awakening. Your first Saturn return, occurring roughly between ages 28 and 30, is often described as a period of crisis. But this crisis is far more than random misfortune. It is a profound initiation that dismantles the false self you've been living through your 20s. This phase shakes your foundations to their core, exposing illusions, outdated beliefs, and societal conditioning that no longer serve your soul's growth. At this stage, you might experience confusion about your career path, feel alienated from relationships that once felt secure, or confront deep existential questions, like who am I beyond my job, my role, my mask. These experiences are not signs of failure, but signals that your old identity is dissolving to make room for something more authentic and grounded. Astrologically, the house and sign where Saturn resides in your natal chart color this process uniquely. For example, Saturn in the 7th house may bring intense relationship tests, while Saturn in the 10th house challenges your public identity and career choices. Understanding your personal Saturn placement helps decode which areas of your life are under transformation. This stage requires what some call ego death, the voluntary surrender of false narratives and attachments that once defined you. It's a painful but necessary shedding, like the snake sloughing off its skin. Through this breakdown, you begin to awaken to your soul's deeper purpose, your true values, and the kind of maturity that isn't imposed, but chosen. Those who resist Saturn's call often face prolonged struggle repeating patterns, or a sense of being stuck. But those who lean into the process, embracing discomfort as a teacher, find themselves reborn. They build a sturdier internal foundation and prepare to step into adulthood, not just socially, but spiritually. In the next segment, we will explore how Saturn return connects with soul contracts and karmic lessons, revealing that these challenges are part of a larger sacred blueprint for growth. Saturn's influence goes beyond personality and psychology. It is deeply entwined with the concept of soul contracts and karmic accountability. In esoteric astrology, Saturn acts as the cosmic accountant, holding you responsible for the lessons you agreed to learn before incarnation. Your Saturn return, then, is a cosmic review of these agreements, a time when karmic themes from past lives and soul intentions resurface for conscious integration. This means the challenges you face during your Saturn return are not random punishments or mere coincidences. They are purposeful activations designed to awaken you to patterns and wounds that have traveled across lifetimes. Perhaps you agreed to face issues of control limitation or authority to grow specific virtues like patience, discipline, or humility. Or maybe unresolved traumas around responsibility or self-worth are now demanding healing. Resistance to these lessons often results in delay or intensification of struggles. Saturn's energy does not rush. It follows divine timing, which can feel slow or frustrating, but is always precise. Fighting Saturn's call only prolongs the initiation, while surrendering to it opens a pathway to transformation. Understanding your Saturn return through the lens of soul contracts invites a shift in perspective. Instead of viewing your struggles as burdens, you can see them as sacred invitations to reclaim your power and rewrite your story. This awareness allows you to meet Saturn's tests with courage, seeing yourself as an active participant in your own spiritual evolution. In the next part, we will look ahead to the second Saturn return, the phase of wisdom and legacy, and how it offers an opportunity to harvest the fruits of your earlier initiations. The second Saturn return, arriving around ages 57 to 60, is often overlooked, but holds profound significance for the soul's journey. While the first return is about breaking down false identities and initiating the path of maturity, the second Saturn return is about harvesting wisdom and assessing the legacy you've built. By this time, many of the illusions and struggles of youth have been confronted. The questions now shift from "Who am I?" to "What have I created?" and "What impact will I leave behind?" It is a moment to review your life's work, your relationships, and your inner growth with a clear-eyed, honest perspective. This phase can bring new challenges, health concerns, shift in social roles, or redefined purpose, but it also opens doors to mentorship, leadership, and the opportunity to guide younger generations. The second Saturn return asks, are you ready to embody the wisdom you've earned? Are you willing to face unfinished lessons with grace? For some, this return signals a spiritual deepening, a shift from ambition to meaning, from striving to embodiment. It's a time to align actions with soul purpose and to embrace the role of elder or teacher in your community. Understanding this phase prepares you not only to navigate potential difficulties, but to celebrate the transformation from the restless seeker into the wise architect of your life and legacy. In the next section, we'll discuss practical ways to navigate Saturn's tests without losing yourself in the process. Navigating your Saturn return is no easy feat, but it is possible to face its trials without losing your sense of self, or worse, falling into despair or denial. The first step is creating a stable inner foundation through consistent practices that help you stay connected to your core truth, even amid chaos. Journaling can be a powerful tool for uncovering hidden fears and patterns. Shadow work helps you face uncomfortable parts of yourself without judgment. Solitude and reflection provide essential space to process the intense emotions and insights Saturn often brings. Building daily structure not as rigid punishment, but as supportive discipline can anchor your mind and body. This might mean setting healthy boundaries, developing routines that honor your well-being, or dedicating time to meditation or creative expression. What not to do is just as important. Avoid blaming external circumstances or others for your challenges. Saturn's tests aren't punishments, but invitations to self-responsibility. Nor is it helpful to escape through distractions or addictive behaviors. These only prolong the initiation. Remember, Saturn tests reveal what's not ready, not to break you, but to prepare you. Every difficulty contains a seed of growth if you're willing to engage with it honestly. Embracing Saturn's discipline means building your inner temple, a sanctuary of resilience, wisdom, and authentic power. By cultivating patience and compassion for yourself during this process, you transform Saturn's energy from a harsh taskmaster into a wise mentor, guiding you toward your soul's next chapter. Next, in the outro, we'll bring these insights together and reflect on how Saturn is truly the gatekeeper of the soul's initiation. As we come to the close of this exploration, it's important to remember that Saturn is not here to break you down without purpose. Saturn is the gatekeeper of your soul's initiation, a cosmic force that asks, are you ready to carry the weight of your own growth? Are you prepared to step into true responsibility and maturity? What may feel like punishment or hardship is actually a sacred forging process, tempering your spirit so it can hold greater light. Your Saturn return is not merely a cycle of external challenges, but a profound invitation to awaken. It calls you to shed the identity's roles and illusions that no longer serve your highest self, and to embrace a deeper authenticity. This initiation may be painful and confusing, but it is necessary if you wish to live a life aligned with your soul's purpose. So when you find yourself in the eye of this cosmic storm, remember you are not alone, and you are exactly where you need to be. The Saturn return is not a random crisis. It is a ceremony you requested before incarnation, a rite that tests your readiness to evolve beyond old limitations. Take this time to reflect deeply. What am I truly being initiated into? What parts of myself am I willing to release? And what am I ready to claim? This is the alchemy of Saturn, transforming breakdown into breakthrough, challenge into wisdom. Thank you for joining this journey into the real meaning of your Saturn return. If this video resonated, consider subscribing to the Zodiac Codex for more soul-centered astrology explorations. Remember, your stars are not cages, They are keys.